Hello everyone. Time for an episode of Weasel Tells a Story. Kind of a flashback. See, before I got the job I have now, from 2003 to 2004, I was out of work. I was unemployed. I survived by having some money saved up and just working whatever odd jobs I could find. Computer repair, or I actually recall pushing a fertilizer spreader through somebody's lawn who needed fertilizer spread on their lawn for money. Just whatever I could find, and it got me by. Anyway, but that's not the subject of this video. What is the subject of this video? See, in this 11-month time frame, the 17 gigabyte hard drive in my computer gave up the ghost. Which, that doesn't sound like a lot of space now, and it was definitely starting to get a tiny bit wimpy then. That's what we had. So I dug around and I found a 4.3 gig. Small, but hey, it's a hard drive. When you have no money, or at least no money to spare, use what you got. That 4.3 did not last very long either, just a couple months. And then it died. So I needed to come up with something. I needed to do something a little bit unorthodox. Some of you may remember something called Knoppix Linux. Now, Knoppix was the first, well, and even if it wasn't the first, it was at least the first popular distribution of Linux that had a feature where you could drop it in, boot your computer off of it, and it would run right off the CD and your RAM. No installation required. And I mean, this at the when it first came out, this was kind of a new thing. Nowadays, every Linux distribution pretty much can run, right off the disk. This is a Mint 17.1 Mate Edition on a DVD. Knoppix ran off a CD because DVD burners for the consumers were all but unheard of at the time. They were around, but it was most certainly a luxury item. So what I ended up having to do is I pulled the hard drive out. It was doing no good. And I was actually booting my computer, all 700 megahertz of it, in case you're wondering, Athlon Slot A700 with 384 of PC133 memory. Oh yeah, those were the days, weren't they? But I booted off Knoppix Linux, and for my settings and stuff like that, I would actually save them to my zip drive. I actually had an internal zip drive in that machine, and I just grabbed a couple zip disks. This one's a 250, this one's a 100, and I actually had a zip 250 drive, but I seem to recall, I think I was using a zip 100 disk because that was basically all I had at the time. And it sounds like a bit of a mess, Mickey Mouse arrangement, whatever you want to call it, but it did the job well for what it was. And just to kind of wrap up the story, when I got the job I have now, my new boss had a box, actually a whole drawer of computer stuff. And in that box was a 10 gigabyte hard drive, I believe actually Western Digital. And and he said, yeah, and he was aware of my situation at home, and he said, you can have that 10 gig hard drive. So I put that 10 gig hard drive in and installed, I believe, Windows 2000 Professional, since it ran pretty well on that computer. And that was that. Now, of course, I've been through several computers since then. After all, this was quite a long time ago. I'm trying not to think about how long it was ago, but, well, 13 years ago? Something like that, 12, 13 years ago. It's been a while. But my various computers over the years, that is a subject for another video. So I'm just going to end this here, and I feel like I should prompt you guys to comment on like an unusual computer arrangement that you've done or something, but I can't think of anything good to ask you to comment on, so I guess that's all.